More free stuff. The theme of this year's legislative session is clear. Idaho Republicans are all in on expanding welfare dependency. It is easy to be generous when you aren't the one funding it. These politicians are unafraid to throw your money around to guarantee the expansion of socialism. In the process, you are increasingly burdened with the cost of providing for your family, and everyone else too. And what you cannot pay, your children will shoulder as they're confronted with insurmountable federal debt. This is not a Washington, D.C. problem alone. It is perpetuated by your lawmakers right here in the Gem State. On this week's episode of Fiscal Fridays, we will dive into the landscape of new socialist programs that are threatening Idaho. The welfare expansion just keeps coming, even in a Republican majority state. The Republican Party of Ronald Reagan was all about getting government out of people's lives, but today's Republican Party has succumbed to the Santa Claus syndrome that is normally a disease of the minds of socialists. Here's one example. On Wednesday, the Joint Finance Appropriations Committee passed the budget for the Division of Welfare. Embedded within it are programs like food stamps, free childcare, and other financial assistance. This year, the legislature opted to grow welfare programs like free utilities and childcare at a cost of $7.1 and $11.4 million apiece. Worse yet, the committee is even trying to make a temporary program that gives away EBT cards, like those seen in food stamp programs, to children school-aged for the summer. This program is not just for the needy either. If just 25% of the children in a school district qualify for the program, all children in that district will get free money, regardless of their family's income. This hooks these children on cradle-to-grave welfare and invites the government to be the caretaker of our children. This program is sold as temporary, but let's be realistic. Once enacted, it is never going away, and it will continue to grow like all the rest of these programs. One example of the stunning growth a welfare program can achieve is Idaho's Medicaid program. The appropriation for the Division of Medicaid passed out of JFAC just this morning. If it becomes law, it will be the largest appropriation for the program the state has ever seen, a whopping $4.7 billion. It is impressive that this growth came even after the department spent the last year removing a net of 100,000 ineligible people from the rolls. Most of the new line items in this budget were added without any concept of how to pay for them. Even so-called offsets only come in the form of generating revenue from provider taxes, the costs of which are passed along to the consumers already paying for expensive health care. The legislature is even working to pass House Bill 633, a program to expand Medicaid coverage for mothers. Interim Director IDHW Dean Cameron plans to offload the costs from this new entitlement to the federal government. With Medicaid being one of the largest drivers of the federal deficit, it is almost certain that medical welfare will be the thing that brings our nation to ruins. As the legislature debates these budgets in the coming weeks, they must consider how this welfare expansion is unsustainable. Subsidizing markets increases costs and lowers affordability for private payers. This, in turn, drives dependency on the government as a solution to the very problem it created. This reduces the productivity of our nation and disincentivizes work and cripples family savings through rampant inflation. One point of irony is that the programs that drive this dependency come from the same agency that is trying to rebrand itself as the Division of Self-Reliance. As you can see, we are living the storyline of Orwell's 1984. In sum, so-called Republicans in Idaho's legislature couldn't help but take the bait. They're expanding welfare programs in ways that would make socialists proud. These proposals cannot stand if we are to preserve our state, our republic, and our liberty. Thank you for supporting the content we produce at the Idaho Freedom Foundation. Be sure to like and subscribe to help spread our message of freedom, family, and small government. To get some of our other great content, including the 2024 Freedom Index, be sure to visit idahofreedom.org.